Mali is facing one of the most dangerous security crises in its modern history. Across large parts of the country, armed fighters linked to JNIM, an Al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorist group, are expanding their influence, attacking military bases, cutting off roads, and spreading fear among civilians. Despite years of military operations, coups, foreign alliances, and promises of victory, the violence is not slowing down. In fact, many analysts now believe Mali's war against terrorism is entering a far more dangerous phase. So how did JNIM become this powerful? Why is the Malian government struggling to stop them? And what does this mean for the future of Mali and the entire Sahel region? Today, we are taking a deep look into Mali's growing security crisis and how JNIM is increasingly challenging the authority of the government. From deadly ambushes to territorial expansion, this conflict is reshaping the future of West Africa. And the reality on the ground is more complicated than many people realize. JNIM, short for Jama'at Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin, was formed in 2017 after several extremist groups merged together under the banner of Al-Qaeda. The group operates mainly across Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Over the years, JNIM has evolved from a scattered insurgent movement into one of the most organized and influential jihadist networks in Africa. Their fighters know the terrain, move quickly through rural areas, and often exploit weak government presence in isolated communities. But JNIM's strategy is not just about military attacks. The group also tries to gain influence by exploiting local grievances, ethnic tensions, poverty, and distrust towards state authorities. In many remote areas where government services barely exist, extremist groups move in and fill the vacuum. In recent months, attacks linked to JNIM have intensified across different parts of Mali. Military convoys have been ambushed, villages have been attacked, roads connecting major towns have become increasingly dangerous. In some areas, civilians are trapped between terrorist violence and military operations. One of the biggest concerns for the government is territorial control. While the Malian army may control major cities, many rural regions remain highly contested. This allows JNIM fighters to move across large distances, launch surprise attacks, and retreat before security forces can respond effectively. The situation became even more complicated after the withdrawal of French troops and the reduction of international military support. For years, foreign forces helped Mali fight extremist groups. But after political tensions and military coups, relations with Western allies deteriorated. The government then turned toward new security partnerships, including Russian-backed forces. However, despite these changes, attacks have continued. And in some areas, insecurity has actually worsened. Many Malians are now asking difficult questions. If military rule was supposed to restore security, why are terrorist attacks still increasing? Behind the headlines and military statements are ordinary civilians paying the highest price. Thousands of people have been displaced from their homes. Farmers struggle to access their lands. Markets close due to insecurity. Children lose access to education. Entire communities live in constant fear of sudden attacks or armed confrontations. For many families in central and northern Mali, survival has become the daily priority. And as instability spreads across borders into Burkina Faso and Niger, the wider Sahel region faces the risk of deeper humanitarian and security crises. Mali's battle against JNIM is no longer just a local conflict. It has become part of a larger struggle shaping the future of the Sahel and West Africa. The government insists it is making progress, but the continued expansion of extremist violence tells a more complicated story. The big question now is whether Mali can regain control before insecurity spreads even further. Because if the current trend continues, the consequences may not stop at Mali's borders. What do you think? Can Mali defeat JNIM and restore stability, or is the crisis entering an even more dangerous stage? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more deep analysis on African security, geopolitics and current events. Thanks for watching.